The key on this one is to take this denominator, since that's a constant, that you could use quotient rule if you like, but it's easier if you just take the denominator and move it up. So you rewrite this as 2 times 6x squared plus 5x plus 1, the quantity squared. Now this is just, or should be to the negative 2, excuse me. Because I brought it up, that should be a negative exponent. So now it's just simple chain rule. Simple chain rule, power rule, that's power rule. Right, so the outside is power rule. Inside is also power rule once I bring it out. So this is chain rule, so f prime of x is negative 2 times 2, which is negative 4, times the blob to the negative 3, times the derivative of the blob which is negative 4 times the blob, which is 6x squared plus 5x plus 1 to the negative 3, times the derivative of the blob. Since it's more than one term, I'm going to put it in parentheses, so which is going to be 12x plus 5. And at that point, I really don't need to do anything else with it. That's all she wrote. Now, next chapter, I'd move that blob down to the denominator and then work with it after that. And this is a workable problem. But we're just doing derivatives. Any questions? Now, what this is, and we're going to hope for the best on this one, that I can actually get a video out of this is product rule, because it's the product of two things, but because each one of them, 3x plus 4 plus 1 to the fourth, that's 3x plus 1, that's a blob to the fourth power. 5x minus 3 squared, 5x minus 3 is a blob. So this is product rule coupled with chain rule. So I'm going to put notation in. The 2 goes along for the ride. So f prime of x is, because 2 is a constant, times the derivative of the first, which is 4 times 3x plus 1 cubed times the derivative of 3x plus 1 times 5x minus 3 squared plus 2 times the first, 3x plus 1 to the fourth, times the derivative of 5x minus 3 squared. So 2 times the blob, 5x minus 3 to the 1, times the derivative of the blob, and I've got to see whether or not I've got that on there, and I don't. So I'm going to start cleaning it up. 2 times 4, that's 8, times 3x plus 1 cubed, times the derivative of 3x plus 1, which is just 3, times, you notice how carefully you have to work at these, plus, well, 2 times 2, well, that's 4, times 3x plus 1 to the fourth, times 5x minus 3, times the derivative of 5x minus 3, which is 5. Now, if on a test, this is where you would leave it. This is why I don't worry so much about time, because you're not going to be simplifying. So this is where you would stop. Because everything I give you says, do not simplify, do not simplify, do not simplify, do not simplify.
Sorry, it says 2 parentheses 3x plus 1 to the 4th power, or the,
Yes?
so would that be 8 and not 4, the second one?
No, because we're not taking the derivative. The only thing I'm taking the derivative of are the things that's got the dx's in front. So I've already done that guy, that's him. So it's 4 times the blob to the 3rd times the derivative of the blob. So that he was differentiated there. So this is the first guy times the derivative of the second. So how would I simplify this? Well, 3 times 8, that's 24, times 3x plus 1 cubed times 5x minus 3 squared, and then 4 times 5 plus 20 times 3x plus 1 to the 4th times 5x minus 3. And now the blob worksheet comes into play, because here is a 3x plus 1, here is a 3x plus 1, here is a 5x minus 3, here is a 5x minus 3. Between 20 and 4, there is a greatest common factor, it looks like, of 4. Then I have blob 3x plus 1 and blob 5x minus 3. What's the smallest power on 3x plus 1? 3. What's the smallest power on 5x minus 3? 1. From the 24, I'm removing 4. That gives me a 6. I'm removing all of the 3x plus 1s, so it's gone. I'm removing 1 of the 5x minus 3s, so I'm going to have a 5x minus 3 plus. I'm taking the 4 from the 20. I'm taking 3 of the 3x plus 1s. And I'm taking the 5x minus 3, so he's gone. So see how that guy cleans up? So it's 4 times 3x plus 1 cubed times 5x minus 3 times 5 times 6 is 30x minus 18 plus 5 times 3 is 15x plus 5. So 4 times 3x plus 1 cubed, 5x minus 3 times 30 plus 15 is 45x, and minus 18 plus 5 is minus 13. Now notice, this is as simple as it gets. That's what your answer is, simplified. I can take that, set that equal to 0, and solve for x. Here x is negative 1/3. Here x is 3/5. Here x is 13 over 45. If I were to set this equal to 0.